What's wrong here? Oh yeah, I know. It's time to boss up. Stay committed. We're about to get suited up. Eat healthy, run, even in the rain with no music. We are about to become beasts. No more resting on our past laurels. We're grabbing headbands, wrapping up our curls, girls, and looking forward to the future. Welcome to the Butterfly Effect, where 1 minute can change a lifestyle. Peace and love.
Some basic stuff. It's not deep. My father who raised me, my mom ended up getting married. My father who raised me gave me his last name. I was young, so we didn't have a good relationship. I look back like I messed up, but I honor him today. So it was his birthday, so I took him out to eat, and I was like, you know what? His birthday was on the 4th. I was out of town. I was like, Eric, you got to do better. Like, I know you travel the world, you change your lives, but these are your parents. Your success shouldn't separate you from your family. All right? Now listen to me very closely. I don't mean with like be careful. I don't mean that they're going to be on the same page as you and they're going to work with you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just spending time with your family, right? So I was spending time with my family, and my mom was like, yo, I saw that video you put out today. I was like, oh, okay, which one? Because, I don't really do it. Somebody else put them up. But I got to act like I know which one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how slap I did. That's my media team. I said, I don't know what they putting up, right? And so my mom was like, I just kind of do like, I come up with the words we should say, and that's pretty much it. And so my mom was like, yeah, was you with Nick, like, the speaker? I was like, Nick Vujicic? No, I went with him. I ain't been with him in like 2 or 3 years. We were in Germany together. And she's like, oh, I saw his video. And she kind of went with like, he ain't had no arms and no legs. And she was about to go, poor Nick. I was like, oh, no, poor you. I was like, Nick good. Nick doing good. You know what I'm saying? Not only is he like one of the best speakers in the world, he married with a wife. I saw him on the beach. I was like, Nick. His wife, she had a bathing suit with 2 kids. I was like, Nick doing it big. I'm like, Nick doing it bigger than people with arms and legs. Like, I know some guys with arms and legs. You ain't living like that. Watch this. And so my mom was kind of like, yo, poor Nick. I was like, no, Ma, poor you. See, Nick grew up that way, Ma. And so his whole life, he's had to adapt to Athens. You just missed what I just said. You missed what I just said. Nick came out the womb knowing, I don't have this, let's go to work. Nick came out like, no arms, no legs, no pity on me. I'm about to be the best in the world that has ever done. Look, y'all, I told y'all in the video. Nick oh man, like y'all gotta meet Nick, right? Nick out this world. So I was in Germany with Nick, right? I got there on time because I didn't want nobody to be on that CP. I didn't want nobody to be on that. So I got there early, right? Nick got to that joint late. And I'm talking about Nick came in bossed up. Nick came in with the wheelchair boy and was like, and he came right at me. Like, I know who you are. I was like, okay. But he was like, I'm Nick. I was like, all right. He came right up on me and then hit the button and the chair went up. You know what I'm saying? And we was right here. He was on me. He like, I'm Nick. I was like, what's up, Nick? Started telling me about his life. Then my man got on stage with like a black shirt with the black pants looking sweet. And he had like this thing they made for him. And he was going back and forth and murdering the audience. I'm talking about I hadn't seen that like that in my life. And so I explained to my mom, Nick learned at an early age with no arms and no legs, I got everything I need. Nick was like, I got everything I need to be successful. You got arms and legs, and you got arms and legs, and still waiting on something else. You like if I could just get a little money. I just need a loan. You don't need no loan. You need to wake yourself up and hold yourself accountable. You need to challenge. Write that down for me real quick. I want you to write that down. What are the things that you are still saying that you need in order to blow up? Write those down for me right quick. Write those down. And here's the scary part, that as you say you need those things, every generation that comes behind you are going to talk that same negative talk. So you're about to pass that down. How do I know? I'm a high school dropout. My father was a high school dropout. And my grandfather was a high school dropout. Listen to me. I used to always say to myself, when I got older, why didn't somebody call me when I dropped out and hold me accountable other than my mother? And I realized because all of my uncles, for the most part, and my father had dropped out of high school, that was the standard, and nobody could hold you accountable for the standard. So guess what? When I dropped out of high school, and then I dropped out of college, when my son was born, I went to that school and I begged them to let me in. They said, what's the difference between you today and you 3 weeks ago? And I said, the difference is I have a legacy. And my father dropped out, I dropped out, my grandfather dropped out. I have to finish college so my son can at least finish high school. No. And of course, I got the master's degree, the PhD. Watch this. This is the biggest accomplishment of my life. All right, and they're not going to tell you this one on TV. I graduated from Michigan State University, East Lansing, the Breslin Center. Go white. When my son graduated from high school, his high school was so big that he marched across the stage at the Bres. And when my son graduated from college, he marched across the bridge. We were the first two in our family to get degrees from major universities. Watch this. And in May, my daughter will walk across the Bres for the second time and get her degree on the bridge. We are creating a new legacy. Are you hearing me? And so listen to me, I'm not even thinking about you, but what I'm saying is if you don't take advantage of this opportunity, you're going to set the next generation up for the same failures that you... Let's go to work. All right. Competition is a part of life, not a reason to get distracted. All right, come on. Setbacks, whatever. Like, write this down. I am sick and tired of people coming to me saying that they had a setback. It is a part. Listen to me, a setback is a part. Look, as much as you enjoy success, you ought to enjoy setbacks. Why? Because I just told you, I had a dream. My wife had a dream. And when my wife got MS, it actually, come on, I always tell people it's like a slingshot. When you get pulled back and back and back and back, don't look at that as a negative, because whatever your goal is, it's in the middle of that slingshot. It's going back. And the farther it goes back, the greater the speed and the velocity when you let that thing go, and boom. So listen to me very closely. I love the sun, but things don't grow because of the sun. You have to have some rain. And you've got to stop looking at rain in your life as something bad. Let me tell you something. The greatest ideas that have ever come to me did not come when I was on a cruise. I'm just being honest. I've not had my greatest ideas sitting on the balcony on the cruise with a 7-course meal. You know when I had some of my greatest ideas? When I was in the hospital waiting for Dee Dee when she was getting the MRI. That doctor told me, you can't come in. I said, I can't come in. I've been with Dee Dee since I was 16. I go wherever Dee Dee goes. They're like, you can't come back here. And when Dee Dee would be in that MRI, I remember the first time she did it, and 6 months later she came back. And I remember they showed me, it's like, she's increased the legion. And I was like, man, okay, we got to change your diet. We got to do this, we got to do that. And every time we would go back, I would just be in the waiting room pacing for an hour, praying like I'd never prayed before, pacing, praying, thinking. And my wife come out, they're like, she's doing great. She hasn't had a legion since then. But every time we go in MRI, I promise you, I come out with an idea that takes us to a whole nother level. I've had my greatest ideas. I had my greatest ideas in my darkest nights. I had my greatest ideas when I went through the most pain that I've ever gone through. I remember when I got kicked out of a church. I remember I prayed like I never prayed. I thought like I never thought. Launched another church, and we're doing phenomenal, sending kids to school. It's unbelievable, but my greatest moments didn't come from my greatest moments. Oh, okay, you missed that. Write that down somewhere. My greatest moments didn't come from my greatest moments. My greatest moments came from my greatest defeats, because it was during my defeat that I had to find a way to get back up. So I want you to write that down. I want you to write down, I will change the way I look at competition. I will change the way I look at defeat. Why? Because iron sharpens iron. Success, listen to me. success, while it's good and it's our aim, it does not necessarily grow us in certain areas. We need defeat. All right, write this down. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to challenge yourself. Right? I want you to challenge yourself. Write that down. I want you to start challenging you. Right? And so when you look at your competition, I don't want you to look at your competition as something bad. I want you to look at your competition and I want you to find the gaps. Write that down. I want you to find your gaps. So when I first started doing motivational speaking, the first gap I found, come on, if anybody knows me, like you find me on Instagram, you find me on YouTube, you find me on Facebook. I'll never forget when I first started doing this work. I remember people would call me, it's like, yo, I'm going through a divorce, or I didn't pass my boards, and they would be discouraged. And I remember, like, you could go online and you could buy, like, Tony Robbins, Les Brown, Zig Ziglar. They would have these infomercials, and it'd be like a 2-minute infomercial. And afterwards, like, you could buy the DVD or the cassette tape. I'm telling my age. You could buy the cassette series. But you know what the problem with the cassette series was? Fire. Zig Ziglar, fire. Les Brown, fire. Tony Robbins, fire. Especially back then, I probably couldn't hold water with those boys. But you know, I saw a gap. And the gap was, it took about 4 weeks for you to get your cassette tapes. I said, got them. There go the gap right there. No, don't look at your competition in a bad way. I was like, it's a gap. Like, bro, I'm about to get a divorce. And me and my wife, we getting into it. We about to go to the court. And Tony Robbins, Les Brown, they're going to change my life. And it takes 4 weeks to get it. Y'all probably divorced in the 4 weeks it took to get the video. It's over. The marriage is over. It's done. It's a wrap. He was like, I was going to kill myself. 4 weeks later, the check go. You gone already. 4 weeks later. They got to send the video back. It's like, send the cassette back. She gone. It's late. I would put out a video every single day. So when you watch my video every day, you might go, he too loud. He got too much energy, but I'm about to get a divorce. I might as well just watch it. You know what I'm saying? He loud. Ain't nobody else that loud, but by the time I get their tapes, it's over. And after you listen to me for 4 weeks and you finally got your DVD, you was like, oh, I might not need this no more. And guess what? You got addicted to listening to Eric Thomas, not because he was best, but because he was available. Listen to me very closely. I never said I was the best, but I'm available.